theta by q plus I sine 2k pi plus p theta by q, where k value, we need to put k value one by one. K is equals to 0, k is equals to 1, k is equals to 2, and we'll be getting multiple answers. Okay, so once you are going to put k is equals to 0, you will be having one answer. When you will be putting k is equals to 1, you will be having another answer. So this way we will be having multiple values, multiple answers. And here k, like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, till what number we need to put the value of k? Till q minus 1. So let's take one example and let's do it. Apply this formula over here. Suppose we are having question as express fifth root of root 3 plus I in trigonometric form. Trigonometric form means cos theta sin theta. Okay. So here we have to find fifth root of this one. Fifth root means what? Root 3 plus I to the power 1 by 5. We have to find it over here. So at first we will be trying to write this root 3 plus I in terms of this cos theta and sin theta. Okay, previous day we were discussing about it, how to write it, when Cartesian form we are having, how to write it in polar form. So previous day already we have discussed that. Let's apply that. So suppose we are having z is equals to root 3 plus I. Here we have to write it in the form of r cos theta plus sin theta. Okay, so r can be taken out by, like, there are two ways to find r. Previous day we have discussed one of the way, that is you take this one as a r cos theta, this one as a r sin theta, then you apply the formula, that is r square cos square theta plus r square sin square theta. That is one of the way. And another way for finding the modulus is just find the distance. That is, let me show you that way also. Another way is r is what? R is just the distance from the origin. R is the modulus of z. So we will be finding under root x square plus y square. That means root 3 square plus y is 1 square. That means only 3 plus 1, that is 4, and the value which we are going to take is positive 2, not negative 2, because we are talking about the distance from the origin. Distance we are taking. So r is 2. And theta, I told you to find theta first, we need to find alpha. So we will be finding tan alpha is equals to mod of y by x. That is mod y is 1 by root 3. So which angle gives 1 by root 3? Yes, Lena, which angle gives 1 by root 3 for tan? Any idea? Are you there? Can you see my screen?
Yes, ma'am. 30 degree.
It's 30 degree. So let's take it 30 degree. Okay. Or in terms of pi, it's pi by 6. So it's, now we need to check it. We have found alpha. We have to find theta. Previous day only we were discussing about argument of z, that is theta, and of which quadrant it is lying, that also we need to check. So which quadrant it's lying? Root 3 plus I. Which quadrant this complex number will be lying? First, second, third, or fourth? Yes, Lena? Can you see here x is also positive and y is also positive? If you are comparing it with x plus iy, can you see both are positive over here?
Yes, ma'am.
So it's which quadrant?
First.
First quadrant. And in first quadrant, theta is equals to? In first quadrant, theta is equals to
Alpha.
alpha. We don't have to add pi, we don't have to subtract pi, we don't have to do anything. If it's in first quadrant, whatever alpha we have got, that is the theta. In second quadrant, we have to do pi minus alpha to find theta. In third quadrant, we have to do minus pi plus alpha to get theta. And in fourth quadrant, it will be theta is equals to minus alpha. So in first quadrant, it is theta and alpha both are same. So our theta is also, we can say it's 30 degree only, or it's pi by 6. Now we will be using the formula. That is, it was in the form of x plus iy, and we wanted to convert it in the form of r cos theta plus I sin theta. R we have already found, R is 2. Okay. And cos theta, cos 30 plus I sin 30. Is it clear so far?
Yes, ma'am.
This is how we will be converting Cartesian form into polar form. We just have to find R and we just have to find theta. How we will be finding R? Previous day, one method I have shown you to find R. That method was, let me just take that method also. So that method was, if we are having z is equals to root 3 plus I, you can take directly. This one is r cos theta. And this one is r sin theta. Because why we are taking like this? Because complex number in polar form looks like this: r cos theta plus r sin theta into I. So that's why we are taking first one as a r cos theta, second one as a r sin theta. Okay, we are assuming that it's already in polar form, and first term is r cos theta, second term is r sin theta. From here, we know one identity, that is sin square theta plus cos square theta is equals to 1. We already know this identity when we were doing trigonometric function. We have learned this identity. So what now we are going to do? We were doing this r cos theta is equals to root 3 and r sin theta is equals to 1. So we were 1, 2. So what we were doing is squaring equation number 1 and adding it with square of the equation number 2. So what we need to do, r square cos square theta is squaring and then adding it with r square sin square theta is equals to root 3 square squaring and adding it with 1 square. So here r square you will take common on the left hand side. It became cos square theta plus sin square theta. And on the right hand side, it became only 3 plus 1. Cos square theta, sin square theta, we know trigonometry says it's 1. So r square is equals to 4 and r value is equals to positive 2 we will be taking, because we are talking about the distance from the origin. So this is one of the method for finding r. And another method is the easier one, this one. That if it is given in the form of x plus iy, then r will be under root x square plus y square. So either you find it directly by doing x square plus y square inside the root, and directly you will end up getting r, or you go and do that way, r cos theta, r sin theta is squaring, adding, and then there also you will be getting r. So whatever method suits you to find r, just find it. R means what? Just the modulus of z, that is distance of the point from the origin. And theta I have explained in the previous day only. When we have to find theta, always we will be focusing on alpha. First we will be finding tan alpha is equals to mod y by mod x. Y is positive, Y is negative, X is positive, X is negative. Everything is okay. When we are finding tan alpha, we have to keep Y and X in the modulus form. Okay, so that it whatever negative positive is there, eventually we will be taking the positive value only. Once we will be finding the value of alpha, now according to the quadrant, we have to find theta. Okay. Once we got r and theta, we can write it in polar form, that is r cos theta plus I sin theta. So 2 cos 30 plus I sin 30. This is our polar form of the given complex number. Now our rule says that if cos theta plus I sin theta is having power p by q, so here we have to find power 1 by 5. Can you see? Can you see?
Yes, ma'am.
Here we have to find power 1 by 5. At first we have just converted it. Now we will be focusing on finding the power 1 by 5, that is fifth root. So we have to find x plus iy, whatever was there, that's power 1 by 5 we needed to find. So here this total power 1 by 5 we will be finding. That means 2 to the power 1 by 5 will come out. That is totally fine. R will take the power and will be sitting aside. Okay, without, we don't have to do anything with r. What we are going to do, we are going to write cos 30 plus I sin 30 to the power 1 by 5. See, whenever cos theta I sin theta is having power p by q, the formula says it will be cos 2k pi plus p theta by q. 2k pi plus p theta by q. Let's write it. Just a moment now. So this one, let me write the formula. We are having the formula that whenever cos theta plus I sin theta is having power p by q, where q not equals to 0 and p and q are integer, then we can write it as cos 2k pi plus p theta by q plus I sin 2k pi plus p theta by 2. This is the formula we are having, which we are going to apply on our question. Okay. Just give me a second. So let's apply the formula over here. And one more thing is there in the formula, that k value we need to take from 0, 1, 2, 3 till what? Till q minus 1. So let's use the formula for our expression. What's our expression? Our expression is this one. We are going to use the formula over here. Let's take the formula. We are having 2 to the power 1 by 5 cos 30 plus I sin 30 to the power 1 by 5. This cos 30, I sin 30 to the power 1 by 5. Here only we are going to use the formula. So it will be 2 to the power 1 by 5. Let's keep it aside. Now it became cos 2k pi. Okay. So cos 2k pi plus p theta. What is our p? Our p is 1. Can you see the numerator? 1 by 5 is there, P by Q. So P is 1. Can you see?
Yes, ma'am.
P is 1 into theta value is 30 degree divided by Q is 5. Is it clear so far?
Yes, ma'am.
Plus I sine again 2k pi plus p theta. So same thing I'm going to write 2k pi plus 1 into 30 is only 30 divided by 5. This is the whole expression we got according to the formula given by De Moivre's. Okay. Now where k value we need to take from 0, 1, 2, 3 till q minus 1. What is our q? Our q is 5. So 5 minus 1 means 4. So k value will be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now one by one we will be putting the k value and we will be finding multiple answer. So we will be saying for k is equals to 0, our expression became 2 to the power 1 by 5 cos this total became 0. Okay. And this became only 30 by 5 plus I sine 30 by 5. Okay. When k is equals to 1, our expression will be 2 to the power 1 by 5 cos 2 pi plus 30 by 5 plus I sine 2 pi plus 30 by 5. We will be coming back and will be finding the angles also. Let's write all the k value first. For k is equals to 2, it will be 2 to the power 1 by 5 cos 2 pi, not 2 pi, 2k pi was there. So k is 2, so it will be 4 pi plus 30 by 5 plus I sine 4 pi plus 30 by 5. When k is equals to 3, again we have to find, and then when k is equals to 4, similarly we will be finding. Now here we can write it as 5 6 times 30, 5 6 times 30. So we can write it as 2 to the power 1 by 5 cos 6 degree plus I sine 6 degree. We need to keep our answer as it is because 6 degree will be not focusing on how to find 6 degree and all. Let's keep it as it is. Now 2 pi plus 30 by 5. So here, just a moment. Okay, so since we are taking this angle in degree, this one in degree we are taking, this 2 pi also we need to take in degree. Either we will be taking both in radian or we will be taking both in degree. So this one also 2 pi, I can take it as pi is 180 and 2 pi means 360. Can I write? Lina?
Yes, ma'am.
360. So we will not be mixing up radian and degree. Either we'll be keeping it in radian or we'll be keeping it in degree. So if it's 360 plus 30, that means 3, 60, 70, 80, 90. So we will be having the total angle over here will become 390 divided by 5. Here 390 divided by 5. If we will be cancelling it out, it will be 5, 6 times 30. 7 times 35, 7 times 35, and then 4 remaining 5. So we will be having, can I write it as 2 to the power 1 by 5 cos 78 degree plus I sine 78 degree? Can I write it like this?
Yes, ma'am.
This is how we will be getting it. If you are keeping it in pi, so please keep your angle also in pi. That is 30 degree means pi by 6. So either keep both in pi or keep both in degree. This way we will be able to find all the angles and we'll be leaving our answer like this only, like this only. As I said to you, there will be multiple solution, there will be multiple values. So these are our multiple solution. Is it clear to you?
Yes, ma'am.
So this is what the De Moivre's theorem says. When the rational power is there, then this is how we will be dealing with it. Now let me take a few more cases. Now like this only, we are having a like a concept which is called cube root of unity. Cube root of unity. Okay, this cube root of unity, if you will focus on cube root means cube root and unity means 1. So we are going to find like how we will be dealing when we are having cube root of unity, when z is having 1 to the power 1 by 3, or when we are having a complex number z which is cube root of unity, then how we will be dealing with it. Again we are going to focus on the same De Moivre's theorem and all, we are going to use it over here. Okay, so first we will be converting. Just a minute. So can you see 1 is also a complex number? You know that, right? 1 is also a complex number. We can write it in the form of a plus bi, right? In Cartesian form. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
And if we are having 1 plus 0 I to the power 1 by 3, again can I say we can apply the previous De Moivre's theorem because the power is in rational form.
Yes, ma'am.
So here, when first thing first, we have to write it in the form of r cos theta plus r I sin theta, r cos theta plus I sin theta. That way we have to convert it in polar form at first. Okay, so like the previous one will be converting polar form. I said to you the easier method is r will be under root x square plus y square. So 1 square plus 0 square. That is under root 1 only, and that is 1 only. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
And theta we will be finding by finding alpha value. So alpha value is tan alpha is modulus of y by x. So mod of y is 0 and 0 by 1 will be again 0. So which angle gives 0 for tan? Tan 0 is 0, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Can I write alpha is 0?
Yes, ma'am.
Now we need to find theta. How? Just by looking at the quadrant. Which quadrant this complex number will be lying. So both are x, y, both are positive. It will be lying in the first quadrant. And in first quadrant, alpha and theta both are same. So we can say theta is also 0 degree. And our polar form became r cos theta plus I sin theta. That is r is 1, cos 0 plus I sin 0. Is it clear so far? This is how we are writing our 1. 1 means a complex number which was given as a only 1. This is how we can represent it in polar form. Is it okay to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Now we have to find this one's power 1 by 3. Okay, let's come over here. So if we are having this 1 cos 0 plus I sin 0, and total is having power 1 by 3. I said to you, give the power to r and just write it as it is, 1 to the power 1 by 3. That means 1 only. And cos 0 plus I sin 0 to the power 1 by 3. Now again I am going to write the formula. This became only 1 cos 0 plus I sin 0 to the power 1 by 3. Now the formula says whenever we are having cos theta plus I sin theta to the power p by q, we can write it as cos 2k pi plus p theta by q plus I sin 2k pi plus p theta by q, where k must be 0, 1, 2 till what? Till q minus 1. This formula we are going to use for the power 1 by 3 in our question, or you can say in the concept related to cube root of unity. So we are having 1 cos 0 plus I sin 0 to the power 1 by 3. We can write it as cos 2k pi. Okay, so 2k pi plus p theta. P is 1 and theta is 0. 1 into 0 by q is 3. Is it okay?
Yes,
Plus
ma'am.
I sin 2k pi plus p theta. So again the same thing, 2k pi plus p is 1, angle is 0 by 3. Now k value we are going to put k value over here from 0, like what can be the k value, Lina? 0, 1
And 2.
and 2. That's it. So let's put it. When k is 0, you can see numerator completely became 0. So when k is 0, it became cos 0 plus I sin 0, right? Cos 0
Yes, ma'am.
value is 1 and sin 0 is 0 only. So we got the answer, like for this one, we got the result as 1. Is it okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Here it was possible to calculate, then we will be calculating. Wherever it's not possible, we will be leaving our answer as it is. When k is equals to 1, it became cos 2 pi plus 0 was there by 3 plus I sin 2 pi plus 0 means 2 pi by 3 only. Okay, plus 0 I am not writing. So 2 pi by 3, how can we write it? 2 pi by 3 means cos pi minus pi by 3, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And pi, for pi, will transformation occur or not occur? पाई पे ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन होता है कि नहीं होता है? पाई टू पाई ये सब पे ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन doesn't occur, right?
Yes, ma'am.
The cos will remain cos only, but we need to check the quadrant. So pi minus means this is 0, this is pi by 2, and this is pi. So pi minus means, can I say second quadrant?
Yes, ma'am.
So second quadrant, which one is positive? Sign is positive and rest are negative. So it will be minus cos pi by 3. Transformation doesn't occur, but we have to check the quadrant, right?
Yes,
Plus
ma'am.
I sin pi by 3 because sign is positive in the second quadrant. Now pi by 3 means what? 60 degree. Cos 60 degree is what? Cos 60 degree क्या होता है?
1 by 2.
1 by 2. And sin 60 degree? Root 3 by
Root
2.
3 by 2.
So we got this one as a second answer, this one as a first answer. Let's find the third answer when k is equals to 2. So we are having cos 2k pi. That means 2 into 2 into pi. Plus 0 was there, so basically it became 4 pi by 3. Right? Plus
Yes.
I sine 4 pi by 3. Now again we will try to convert it. 4 pi by 3 to pi by 3. It is possible to calculate. We can write it as cos pi plus pi by 3. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Plus I sine pi plus pi by 3. Pi पे change नहीं होता है. But we need to see which quadrant it's lying. So pi plus theta, which quadrant it's lying? Pi plus theta.
Third.
Can you say it?
The third quadrant.
Third quadrant. Third you said?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, third quadrant. And in third quadrant, cos sine all negative because it's adds sugar to. Tan is positive only over there. So both are negative. So whatever, no transformation will occur, but both will be negative only. Pi by 3 minus I sine pi by 3. Okay. Pi by 3 का वैल्यू अभी अभी हमने सीखा है, that is -1/2 minus I into √3 by 2. So this is our third value. Okay. So when we were having z is equals to 1 to the power 1 by 3, when we were having z is equals to 1 to the power 1 by 3, we got three values and those values are 1, we got three values and those values are 1. What else? -1 by 2 plus √3 by 2 times I, and another one is -1 by 2 minus √3 by 2 into I. These are the three value which we got when we solve cube root of unity. Okay. Now, just a moment. So this is what we got. Okay, Sahil, you join. We are discussing complex number over here. Okay. Yes, Sahil. So these are the three values which we got when in Cartesian form. You can see all looks like a plus ib, right, Lina?
Yes, ma'am.
So at last we have just simplified our answer and we have written it in Cartesian form again, that is a plus ib. Now in polar form, the same answer became 1 cos 2 pi by 3 plus I sine 2 pi by 3. If we would not have converted it, if we would not have solved this 2 pi by 3 and we would not have found the value of 2 pi by 3, that means we are keeping it in form of cos and sine. And when cos and sine is there, that means it's polar form, right?
Yes,
Can you
ma'am.
see it was in polar form over here? This is in polar form and we
Yes, ma'am.
simplified it. So polar form, it was 2 pi by 3, 2 pi by 3. Then the next one was 4 pi by 3 and I sine 4 pi by 3. So cos 4 pi by 3 plus I sine 4 pi by 3. This one is the our result in polar form. Now in Euler's form, how can we write it? So if we will go back and we'll check Euler's form, let me show you. We have already discussed the concept of Euler's form, which says cos theta plus I sin theta can be written as e to the power I theta. Let me show you. Can you see Euler's form? Only this much. That cos theta plus I sin theta को हम लोग e to the power I theta भी लिख सकते हैं. ठीक है? This one is given by a scientist, that is whose name is Euler's. So cos theta plus I sin theta can be written as e to the power I theta. Let's get back to our concept. So Euler says that cos theta plus I sin theta can be written as e to the power I theta. So the first one for, in Euler's form, I am writing this one as a 1 only, okay? Because here is 1 in Euler's form also. Let's keep it 1 only. The other one, cos theta, I sin theta format, I can see. Now I can write it in Euler's form. So e to the power, our theta. Theta is 2 pi by 3, right? Right, Lina? Let me share it again. So e to the power I and theta is 2 pi by 3. So can I write it as e to the power 2 pi by 3 I? Can I write?
Yes, ma'am.
And the next one, can I write it as e to the power 4 pi by 3 I?
Yes,
Or
ma'am.
I theta? Like in at first you can write I and then you can write theta. We can write it like that, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Now we can, these are the Cartesian form, polar form, Euler's form for when the power of 1 is 1 by 3. That's called cube root of unity. Okay, unity means 1. That's cube root we have taken, and we have found this result by using de Moivre's theorem. Now it says that let's take any notation to represent it. Notation means what? Notation means the way we represent angle by using theta, or we represent angle by using alpha. So let's represent these values, our answer, by using any notation. Okay, so mathematicians have selected notation that बार बार नहीं बोलेंगे कि 1 आया -1/2 plus √3/2i -1/2 -√3/2i. A standard notation we can take, and every time we'll be saying or using those notation only. So when 1 is there, it's, let's say the first one is 1 only. The next one, a proper notation we are taking, that is omega. ठीक है, इसको बोल सकते हैं ओमेगा, इसको भी ओमेगा, और इसको ओमेगा. So कोई भी वैल्यू ले ओमेगा, when we are saying omega, it means the second result, that is -1/2 plus √3/2i. Okay, so a notation we have just chosen for the second value. Now the third value, we have to take one more notation. So we are just looking for relation between second value and third value. So when we will be looking for second value and third value, can you see this power in Euler's form? E to the power 2 pi by 3i and 4 pi by 3i. So can I say next one can be taken as omega square just by looking at this value? This is just 2 times of the upper one. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
So that's why we are taking the next notation as omega square. Omega we have chosen, like mathematicians have chosen by themselves only. But after that, they just tried to find out relation between second and third, and they said that last one will be omega square. Or one more notation they have found, like this only. They says that first one is alpha, first one is 1, second one is omega, and last one, if we will look at this one and this one, can I say both, like this one is the conjugate of the upper one?
Yes, ma'am.
Conjugate means what? X plus iy if you are having, then x minus iy is the conjugate of that. If you are having a complex number z, that is x plus iy, then z bar means conjugate, and it can be written as x minus iy. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
So does it look like conjugate of each other?
Yes, ma'am.
So they said that we can take it as a 1 omega omega square, or or we can also take it as omega bar by seeing the result in the Cartesian form. So either this 1 omega omega square, or sometime we'll be taking 1 omega omega bar to represent these three values of cube root of unity. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Let me take a few questions related to it, or the concept related to it. Now there are few properties. The very basic property I'm picking over here, that roots are in. Do you know about geometric progression? Have you done geometric progression? In class 10 you have done AP, right? Arithmetic progression, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let's skip that. We are having one of the result as sum of roots is 0. This is one of the property of cube root of unity. That is, sum of the roots will be 0. Now only we have represented one of the root as a 1, another as a omega, another as a omega square, and some of those are 0. This is one of the rule. Okay, that sum of the roots will be 0. Now one more is there, that is product of the roots is 1. So when we'll be having 1 into omega square, if the product, that is omega cube, will be 1. Okay, now iota, the power of iota you have found, right? When we are having I to the power 19, when we are having I to the power 27, when we are having I to the power anything, we have discussed how to find the value of that, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Now if we are in the same question, just a moment, suppose we are having omega to the power 44, then how we'll be finding that? So can you see this property is very helpful? Omega cube is 1. So we will be taking omega cube to the power something. Okay, what? So let's divide 44 by 3. 3 1 times 3, 3 4 times 12. So totally it is getting cancelled 14 times. 14 into 3, 42 into omega square. Can I write it like this, Lena?
Yes, ma'am.
Omega cube means 1. 1 to the power 14 into omega square. 1 to the power 14. Even power is there and 1 is there. Minus 1 is not there, just like iota. So even odd, whatever power is there, it will be 1 only into omega square. And here we got the result as a omega square. Right?
Yes, ma'am.
So just like iota, we can find the value of these also. Let me take one question related to it. If the question says 1 omega omega square r cube root of unity, then find the value of, we have to find the value of 1 minus omega plus omega square, that to the power 5, and we have to find the value of 1 plus omega minus omega square to the power 5. Options are minus 32, plus 32, 32 omega, and none of this. Okay, let's see whether we can do it. Like which method can be applied. Two properties I have told you. One of the properties is 1 plus omega square is 0. Another is omega cube is 1. So we know 1 plus omega square value is 0, and omega cube is equals to 1. These two rules we are having in hand for now. Like this we are having a lot of rules, but for now we are having these two rules in hand. Now let's see whether we can apply this rule over here or not. So here, can you see 1 is there and omega square is there? So can I write it as 1 plus omega square together and minus omega to the power 5? Can I?
Yes, ma'am.
And the other one, 1 plus omega is there together. It's a good thing. 5. Now 1 plus omega square. From this relation, can you see, can I write it as minus omega? 1 plus omega square will be minus omega. Can I write?
Yes, ma'am.
Let's write minus omega to the power 5. And here 1 plus omega. So from here, can you see 1 plus omega will be minus omega square? We can also write that.
Yes,
Can
ma'am.
I? माइनस ओमेगा स्क्वायर लिख सकते हैं कि नहीं इसको?
Yes, ma'am.
माइनस ओमेगा स्क्वायर टू द पावर 5. नाउ minus omega will be minus 2 omega to the power 5, and here minus 2 omega square to the power 5. Let's distribute the power by using the property of exponent. So minus 2 will take power 5 and omega will take power 5. Here minus 2 will take power 5 and omega square will take power 5. Okay. Now minus 2 to the power 5 will be what? Minus 2 to the power 5 क्या होगा?
Minus 32.
Minus 32. So let's write it here. Minus 32. Okay, here we are missing on something. In the question, it was plus over here, and accordingly options are given. Okay, this is plus. This is plus. This is not multiplication, it is plus. Okay, so we got minus 32 omega to the power 5. Now only I told you how to find this value. So omega to the power 5 ko, can I write omega cube into omega square?
Yes, ma'am.
Cube ka value we know 1 omega square. So it will be only omega square. Let me write as it is. Plus minus 2 to the power 5, again minus 32, and omega to the power, it will become 10. Whenever the power is whatever, we will try to come to omega to the power 3, and then what will be the power. So when power is 10, can I write is a 3 times 9 and then one more omega? Can I?
Yes, ma'am.
Let's write it. So this became 1 to the power 3 into omega, that is only omega. So we got minus 32 to the, and this became only omega, minus 32, and this became omega square. If we will be taking out common minus 32, I can write it as omega square plus omega. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Why we are not taking omega common? We don't have to, because we are having one relation that says 1 plus omega square plus omega, 1 plus omega square 0 hota hai. So that's why we have kept omega and omega square together, so that omega and omega square will be minus 1, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Minus 32 minus 1, and that became plus 32. So let's check. Plus 32 is the answer. Yeah. Can we say option number B is the correct option?
Yes, ma'am.
This is JEE level question. It was easy, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So this is how we need to apply the concept over here. Okay. So this was the total concept of cube root of unity. Okay. A lot of properties are there, but for that first you need to understand what is GP. First you need to understand the next few topic which you will be covering in class 11, and then only you will be understand, like you will be able to understand those properties also. Okay. So I have taken those property which you will be able to understand over here. Now nth root of unity concept, the very last concept is there that says nth root of unity. Nth root of unity means again z is equals to 1 to the power 1 by n. अभी अभी हमने 1 को कन्वर्ट किया था पोलर फॉर्म में और हमें मिला था, ये होता है cos r1 मिला था और cos 0 plus I sin 0 to the power 1 by n. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
So if we are going to apply de Moivre's theorem, again de Moivre's theorem, what does it says? Cos theta plus I sin theta to the power p by q if I am having, then we can write it as cos 2k pi plus p theta by q plus I sin 2k pi plus p theta by q. Okay, let's apply this formula. So we will be having cos 0 plus I sin 0 to the power 1 by n can be written as cos 2k pi plus p theta. P is 1 and theta is 0. 1 into 0 by q is n plus I sin 2k pi plus 1 into 0 by n. Okay. Now here we have to write the k value as a 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 till what? Till n minus 1. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So here we will be substituting the value for 0, then 1, then 2, then 3, then 4. But we will not get a proper so arrange answer just like the cube root of unity 1. For just understanding the same thing, we will be having when k is equals to 0 you are taking, it will become cos total 0. Okay, cos 0 plus I sin 0, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Which can be written as like cos 0 it's 1 and I sin 0 is 0, so it's 1 only. When k is equals to 1 we will be having cos 2 pi by n plus I sin 2 pi by n, right Lena?
Yes, ma'am.
And in Euler's form this can be represented cos theta plus I sin theta को Euler's form में लिख सकते हैं e to the power I theta. So this can be written as e to the power I and theta is 2 pi by n. Similarly, we can have k is equals to 2 and we will be having one expression, k is equals to 3, we'll be having one expression. We will not be able to solve it, just for your understanding, just for your concept. I'm showing this till what we have to take, k is equals to n minus 1. We don't have to do that. It is just one of the concept which you need to understand. That's it. Okay. So here we are done with total complex number. Is it clear, Lena?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Here the very important concept is argument of z. So please remember how to find argument of z. Whenever x plus iy, whenever you are having the structure like x plus iy, then first you are going to find tan alpha by taking mod of y by x. यहाँ से अल्फा निकलेगा और उसके बाद जो भी अल्फा आया, just keep it aside and you have to check the quadrant. ओके, यहाँ पे क्वाड्रेंट होता है एक्स वाई, दोनों पॉजिटिव होते हैं। यहाँ पे y पॉजिटिव होता है बट x नेगेटिव होता है। यहाँ पे दोनों नेगेटिव होंगे तो थर्ड में। एंड when y is negative and x is positive, it is fourth quadrant. So जैसा x का साइन है y का साइन है, क्वाड्रेंट डिसाइड करना होगा। एंड देन रूल मैंने लिखा हुआ है ऑलरेडी, दैट फर्स्ट क्वाड्रेंट में थीटा अल्फा दोनों सेम होता है। हियर सेकेंड क्वाड्रेंट इट विल बी पाई माइनस अल्फा। अगर तुम्हें अल्फा मिला लेट्स से पाई बाई 3, सो थीटा तुम्हारा होगा पाई माइनस पाई बाई 3, दैट मीन्स 2 पाई बाई 3। ठीक है, ऐसे थीटा फाइंड करेंगे अगर सेकेंड क्वाड्रेंट में लाइक करते हैं। सिमिलरली थर्ड क्वाड्रेंट, फोर्थ क्वाड्रेंट, दिस इज द रूल एंड दिस इज हाउ यू आर गोइंग टू do it. This concept is very important. It's really important. Okay, now we are going to start. Let me check how like okay, so now we are going to start the concept of linear inequality. Just a minute. So let's understand it with the help of one rule, okay? Or let's understand it with the help of one question, how we will be solving the linear inequality, okay? You are already aware of the concept of how to solve linear equation. If I'll be giving you x plus 5 is equals to very basic equation 8, then easily you will be able to find x value from here. But if we will be having linear inequality, then how to solve it? Suppose we are having 5x minus 3 is less than 3x plus 1. Here we will be able to find the range of x. Okay, range x का value कहाँ से कहाँ तक lie करेगा. X will be lesser than any number, it can be greater than any number. So we will be finding in which range x we will be, like the value of x will be lying. Okay, before that you need to know there are 4 inequality sign we are having in hand. One is greater than, another is less than, another is greater or equals to sign, and the next one is less or equals to sign. Okay, these are the inequality sign which we are having in hand. Now how to solve this type of equation? So the way we solve linear equation, same way we are going to deal with this type of inequality. So क्या करते हैं, सारे x को एक तरफ करते हैं and constant को एक तरफ करते हैं. So that's what we are going to do over here. 5x minus 3x, I am taking this 3x over here and sending this inequality sign. Same, I am just copy pasting, this 3 is going over there. So I'll be having 1 and this minus 3 became plus 3. Is it clear to you? Just like equation I am doing. Is it clearly now?
Yes, ma'am.
Now this became 2x less than 4. X less than 4 by 2. That means x less than 2. Now this is the range of x. This is our solution कि x का value जो भी होगा 2 से कम होगा. How to represent it on number line or real line? So here we can represent that here is 0, here is maybe 1 and 2, and we don't need to represent all the number. So x is smaller than 2. That means here we will be drawing an open circle, and from here x will be lesser than 2. This way x value will be lying. This is how we have to represent it on real line. Now जब भी ये 2 से छोटा है तो ओपन सर्कल लेंगे कि 2 को टच नहीं कर रहा है. लेकिन अगर इसके जगह पे अगर if our answer would have been x is smaller than or equals to 2, then our real line representation will look like this one. 2, and here you have to take a close the filled circle, that is hollow circle. This is solid circle. Solid circle and lesser than 2 means इस side. तो यहाँ पे solid circle ये बता रहा है कि x 2 को टच भी कर रहा है, इसीलिए मैंने सर्कल को फिल कर दिया. और जब सर्कल को ऐसे हॉलो रखेंगे तो वो ये बताएगा कि x 2 को टच नहीं कर रहा है, x सिर्फ 2 से छोटा है. It's going on the left hand side, so obviously it's a smaller, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So this is how we will be representing on real line. Okay, now let me take few more questions where you will be able to understand the concept in a better way. So yeah, the other question is 4x plus 3 is smaller than 6x plus 7. Let's solve it. So what we do, we take x on one side and constants on another side. So if I am taking 4x minus 6x over here is lesser than 7 minus 3, then minus 2x is less than 4. And then if you are going to write that x is less than 4 by minus 2, then we are wrong. एक ही प्लेस है जहां पे हमें केयरफुल रहना रहता है, सब कुछ इक्वेशन जैसा सॉल्व करेंगे. बट whenever we are having negative, whenever you are going to multiply or divide any of the side by a negative number, then you have to reverse the inequality sign. तो जब भी नेगेटिव नंबर से अब -2 से डिवाइड करने जा रहे हैं उस साइड, तो हमें ये इनइक्वालिटी साइन रिवर्स करना होगा. ये साइन इस साइन में चेंज हो जाएगा. Why we are doing so? Because you can logically think about it that if we are having a number 4 and if we are having a number 3, 4 3 से बड़ा है, जो कि true है. If अगर when we are going to multiply both side by negative, so -1 इधर भी multiply कर दिया and -1 इधर भी multiply कर दिया, तो ये बन गया -4, ये बन गया -3. अब इसी समय हमें साइन को रिवर्स करना होगा. क्यों? क्योंकि -4 3 से बड़ा नहीं है, ये गलत है कि नहीं?
Yes, ma'am.
So that's why whenever we are dividing by a negative number or whenever we are multiplying by a negative number, we have to reverse the inequality sign at that moment only. So here the sign will get reversed like this one. -4 is smaller than -3. Similarly, if you are sending this -2 to other side, you must write x is, it was smaller, it will be greater than 4 by -2. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
It became x is greater than -2. How to represent it on real line? A real line will be there, -2 will be there, x is bigger than that one, that means it will go on right side. Open circle or closed circle? Open circle, because it's not touching 2. Okay, is it clear, Lina?
Yes, ma'am.
So this is how we will be representing it on real line and this is how we will be using the concept. सब कुछ allowed है. उधर से एक नंबर लाओ, ऐड कर दो, उधर से एक नंबर लाओ, सब्ट्रैक्ट कर दो. Everything is just like normal, just like an equation. We don't have to change the sign. But when you are going to multiply and divide by a negative number, then and only then you have to reverse the sign. Okay, let me take one more question. If we are having the question 3x minus 4 divided by 2 is greater or equals to x plus 1 by 4 minus 1. Let's say this type of linear equation, this type of equation you have already solved. The trickiest one, the tougher one, everything you have solved. Here also we are going to solve it. So 3x minus 4, it's okay. By 2, it's okay. Let's do the simplification on the right hand side. Is greater or equals to LCM is 4. X plus 1 will remain x plus 1 and this will remain minus 4. Is it okay, Lina?
Yes, ma'am.
3x minus 4 by 2 greater or equals to x. 1 minus 4 will be minus 3 by 4. Now we can do crisscross multiplication. While doing the multiplication, we have to see we are multiplying by a negative number or a positive number. So of course, positive number it will be getting multiplied over here. So no need to worry about the sign. Okay, let's multiply as it is. So we will be having here 4 was there. We'll be having 4 and this will get multiplied with 3x minus 4 greater or equals to 2. This will get multiplied with x minus 3. So now we'll be having 12x minus 16 is greater or equals to 2x minus 6. Now let's keep x with x and constant with constant. So 12x minus 2x is greater or equals to, whenever you are adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing, no need to worry. Only you have to be careful when you are multiplying and dividing by a negative number. This minus 16 will go over there. It will be plus 16 and minus 6. 10x is greater or equals to 16 minus 6 is 10, right? So x, is it okay?
Yes, ma'am.
X is greater or equals to 10 by 10. We are just dividing by a positive number. No need to worry about the sign. X is greater or equals to 1. How we will be representing on the real line? So 1 is there and greater. That means on the right side it will go like this. Open circle or closed circle? A closed circle, a solid circle. Why? Because X is touching 1. Getting it?
Yes, ma'am.
So here, if you have understood this, then you will be able to solve from exercise 5.1. You will be able to solve like question number 1, question number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 till 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Till 20 you will be able to solve. From 1 to 20, question number 1 to 20 you will be able to solve if you have understood this concept. Let me take few questions from here which is quite tricky. So yeah, let's take few questions now. Here the first question says if 24x is smaller than 100, then options are x is natural number, and the second one is x is an integer. Okay, it's not the option, it's in the question only. It says 24 is smaller than 100 when just a second now. So it says 24x is smaller than 100. When x is natural number, what will be the results? And when x is an integer, what will be the results? That's what we have to find here. First, we will be finding the range of x, or we will be solving the given inequality. Okay, so what we are supposed to do, like the way we do, that 24x is smaller than 100, then x will be smaller than 100 over 24. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Let's cancel it out. So I can see 4, 6 times 24, 4, 2 times 8, or 5, 25 by 6 we are getting. And if I'll be converting it in decimal number, it will be 6, 2 times 2. Let's convert it in decimal to get a clear idea, or let's convert it in mixed fraction, whatever seems convenient to you. So 6, 6, 4 times 24. So till 2 digit I have found, that is 4.16. Okay. Now when x is a natural number, here the value of x, let me write it. The value of x we got from the solution. We got from the solution is x value is smaller than 4.16. Okay. x value 4.16 से छोटा है. तो जब x नेचुरल नंबर है तो क्या क्या पॉसिबल वैल्यूज होगा x का? कैन यू टेल मी लीना कि x का पॉसिबल वैल्यू क्या क्या होगा व्हेन वी आर पिकिंग ओनली द नेचुरल नंबर्स?
3, 2, 1.
3, 2, 1. Perfect. Okay, these are the values, possible values of x, because x is smaller than 4.16. And when x is an integer, then क्या क्या वैल्यू होगा x का? Possible values: +3, +2, right?
Yes, ma'am.
+1, 0, until like this it will keep on going. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
So this is how we will be picking the value according to the given conditions. These are condition. I thought these are the options. No, these are just the condition, because when is written over there. So 24x is less than 100 when x is natural number, when x is integer, then what will be the values? Okay. Similarly, here we are having few more questions which we need to first find the range. If you are getting in a fraction, better to convert it in a mixed fraction or a decimal number. That will give you a clear idea which value you can pick and which value you have to leave. Now we are having few word problem. So again, word problem, we need to just a moment here. Linear equation, like linear inequality in two variables are there or not, let me check. Yeah, one question I am picking from here. Yes, two variables are there. Just like very simple equation. Okay, we are going to deal with it. It's Reshma. Quickly, let's do it. Reshma has rupees 120 and wants to buy some registers and pens. The cost of register is rupees 40 and pen is rupees 20. In this, yeah, that is the total number of, then the total amount is spent by her. Yeah, write it in the form of inequality, just like that. Okay, let me write it. Represent it in form of inequality. So how to represent this one in the form of inequality? If Reshma is having 120 rupees and want to buy some register and pen. So let's say she has bought X registers and Y pens, right? We can assume it. This is how we assume while making the equation. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
The cost of register is 40 rupees. So if she has bought X register, the total cost will be 40X, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And the cost of pen is 20 rupees. So if she has bought Y pens, then it will be plus 20Y. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
And the total amount she is having is 120 rupees. So we need to understand when we are going to market with 120 rupees, either we can spend all the 120 rupees or we can spend less than that, right? So you are only having the capacity of spending either 120 or less than that. Is it possible for you to go to market and buy 500 rupees stuffs if you are having only
No,
120 in pocket?
no, ma'am.
No. So this total must be less than or equals to 120. Yes or no?